Welcome back, everybody, to Breathe Motivation. I'm so excited to be back here with you guys. We had a great response, and I definitely want to say I appreciate all the response and all the feedback that you gave to us. So excited to see that people are really enjoying our podcast. So thank you for being a part of this podcast. And hopefully as we continue to grow, we'll continue to see more successes. So love the feedback. You guys can always reach out to me on my Facebook page at Breathe Motivation, at breathemotivation.com. Also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Breathe Motivate. So today I wanted to really get back into, why am I here? And why did we start Breathe Motivation in this podcast? Wow, man. It's really one of those things where I look back and I'm really grateful for the opportunity to actually do this. When I was very young, I really was so scared to get in front of people, to talk to people. And even looking back at high school, I was scared to even approach anybody, do any presentations. I used to get so scared, so clammy, and I just was not very confident. And growing up, that's pretty scary. And a lot of people are scared to talk to people or get in front of people. And that's one of the biggest fears in the world, or people getting up in front of people, whether it's one, two people, hundreds, thousands. So I'm just grateful to actually be here and having this podcast. Growing up, I never thought I would get over my fear of talking to people, or, what was I going to do with my life? And over the last, I'd say probably 10 years, I've really focused on becoming who I am today and, really creating this podcast. And I did this as a means to show other people that success is what you make it and what you determine to do with yourself, and knowing that no matter what, you can be successful. So when it comes to Breathe Motivation, I really enjoy, like I told you guys on the last podcast, was helping people, whether that was in my work career, whether that's on a personal basis. I just enjoy people and seeing the psychology of people and seeing people that are successful and really getting down to what makes people successful. And I was talking to one of my friends the other day, and really we came to the question of what is success? A lot of people will, have this idea of success and see people that are famous and say, hey man, that's success. And we kind of laughed and we're like, man, is that really success? And is that really what most people want or go after in life? And we just kind of sat back, laughed, and really thought about it. And we looked at each other and said, what's success? And what is success to you? I'll tell you a personal story. Over the last year or so, I really went through a lot of challenges. And, I struggled with anxiety, panic attacks. I wasn't happy. I was kind of depressed. I didn't know what was going on. I really thought at one point I was dying because of all the stress that I had and the career that I had, and I wasn't very happy. So it was very scary. And a lot of that comes back to the idea of success. Growing up, you always look at these all-stars and these movie stars and music stars, and you really question, man, do I want to be rich and famous? Am I going to make enough money? I'm sure you guys have all been there. You guys have asked each other all those questions, and, you've thought to yourself, man, what is it going to take to get there? And, really that's why I went through that depression and that anxiety and that, because I was so afraid not to be successful in life. And, what we came up with yesterday was, really success is a fulfillment of one's potential. So it's very important for you to, one, know that you can be successful in anything that you want to do. And you got to find what you love on a day-to-day basis to really grow and, face challenges and get out in front of people and let people know what you want, and find people that are going to cheer you on along the way and really put you in the right mindset to be positive, because positive thinking is where you're really going to get to experience those great things and really focus on where you want to go in life. So, you've got to start with small steps, and growing up, I kind of, it's funny, we kind of talked about it yesterday, and, I've created this person that's confident and can get up in front of people and be funny and, really direct people in a fashion. And, deep down inside, I'm still that person, when I was younger, who does fear getting in front of people, and I still get nervous, but I know that by getting out in front of people and overcoming my fear, that's really helped me grow tremendously. And I think that's important for everybody. So as we go through life, we look at the different things, and, we always are so worried about being average. And, I think that really comes back down to that same question, what is average? Is average, driving, I got a Toyota Camry, is that average? Or, I live in a house, is that average? You ask all these questions, and it's funny to think about, how much we really are so concerned about the material things and not really focused on what's going to make us happy in the long run and how do we get to that happiness. So I want to challenge you guys to really take a look at your life and ask yourself, what does success look like to me? Is that being successful in movies or acting, or, is it just being a successful parent? A lot of people look at their lives and say, man, I just want to be a successful mom or dad. And you know what? That's okay. And, a lot of us struggle with that because you're like, what is success? And you see a picture and, other people's lives, and you're like, man, is that really what I want? Is that really what's going to make me happy? And sometimes that answer is no. So you've got to look at within yourself, figure out who you are, and really strive and focus to get the best you that you can be. And that's something that is very important to anybody, is finding out who you are, why you want to do things, and set goals that are going to help you accomplish what you want. And don't be afraid to do that. Look inside yourself. I know it's tough, and you have a million questions, and you start to look at yourself and say, man, can I do this? If I change, am I going to lose friends and family, or are people going to leave me? And, sometimes that does happen, but in the end, you will find the right people that are going to embrace you for you and love you for you. And you'll be surprised that when you start letting people know who the real you is, the weight that comes off of you, off of your shoulders. And that's a great thing, to go through those questions, to question yourself. That's part of, nature, human nature and human life. And that's the exciting thing about life. Life is full of challenges, and figuring out who you are and what you want to do and going after it. That's the exciting part about it. You got to go after what your dreams are, and you got to go after your goals. And you first got to find out what that is and take the first step and continue to take those steps, because consistency is going to be your key. So as you go through, you write down your goals, you find your short-term goals, your midterm goals, your long-term goals, and each day take a step forward. And what I've really found growing up was, each day you hear about the comfort zone all the time. And the goal is to escape that comfort zone. And the only way to do that is taking one step day by day, living in the present and focusing on you and finding what you want to do. It's not going to come, in that first day. It could take you months. It took me several months to really kind of get a hold of that anxiety and that fear of not being successful, and finding out what my success was. And, really coming to starting this podcast, I really had thought about doing this for months, for weeks. And, I had a microphone that just sat on the desk, and it was very, very scary to get on here and be vulnerable. And, that's okay. No matter what, there will be people that are going to learn and grow from this. And that was what I was here on earth to do, is to help people find themselves, help them find their successes, and help them plan out their goals to get to where they want to be. So again, I want to thank you for tuning in to Breathe Motivation. Starting tomorrow, we're going to go daily. So there is no stopping here. So each day we're going to be here with you. I look forward to hearing from you guys. I want to hear your successes. You guys can reach out to me at anthonyhester@breathemotivation.com. Also on my Facebook, Breathe Motivation, Instagram and Twitter. Please follow and subscribe on our podcast, now on iTunes and Google Play at Breathe Motivation as well. So reach out to us, and remember, breathe motivation and exhale success. Thanks, and I'll see you tomorrow.